Like, what do you think the role of a woman in a relationship should be?
I mean, wow, that's tough, right? Because um, so our women have been conditioned, right? They've been conditioned to go against the leadership and authority of the black man, right? So there's a big, you know, there's a big conditioning going on in our culture, right?
Hmm.
So and it's been happening since slavery. So when the welfare system came in, they said in order for you to clothe, house, and feed your children, the black man can't be there.
Small talk, she about to fill some big shoes, touch a big bag. Come on, Tiny, this a big move. Can't spell Tiny without the NY. We run the city, bitch, yeah, you know the vibes. Small talk, baby, pull up with the guys. Yeah, I had to say it twice, yeah, you know she never lie, whoa. Yeah.
Okay, hey guys, welcome to Small Talk with Tiny. I'm excited to have one of our very known, well favorite guests,
Mhm.
Smart,
Right?
the
Absolutely.
smart guy, entrepreneur, motivational speaker. He does it all.
Disclaimer: we're gonna be having a part two. Keep this in, don't edit this out. We're gonna be having a part two because I was extremely late. And so it's this is I don't know how we're gonna put. I don't know how she's gonna put together the content at the end, but we're gonna make sure that we get our. I want a 2 hours. I want to make sure that we do a 2 hour sit down.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
for sure,
We'll figure it
definitely.
out. First, I wanted to just say I'm happy to have you back. I'm
Oh,
happy to have you here.
happy to be here.
Okay, so definitely just to bring back when you came the first time, you definitely made a mark. That was like one of my best videos
Yeah,
to date.
one of the
So
most viewed.
the most viewed,
I
it
think yeah,
was.
yeah,
You
it was.
did that, and I definitely want to give you your flowers
Thank you,
on camera. You know, you
thank you.
did
This
that.
is what I do. I boost people's shit.
Okay.
Right.
But no, seriously, because I haven't since then. I've shot multiple episodes, some that haven't came out yet, and every interview I've done so far since then, you come up. Everybody will say, "Oh yeah, I see it when the smart was on your
No, for
VOD."
sure.
So I got a lot to try. So thank you for that, and just like
I told you that was
networking.
gonna happen before
Yeah, you
in
did,
advance.
and it happened. So,
So when you,
uh,
I'm like all state. You know what I mean? Get me, you're gonna go
like
far.
so one of the things though that had like a lot of traction with that episode, I think it was like a trigger for a lot of people that came up a lot, especially with women.
Hmm.
We spoke about domestic violence piece, right?
Right.
And I think that some people perceived what you said maybe not the way you intended it to.
Right.
I know it triggered a lot of women and stuff, so I definitely
Hmm.
want to get into that and like your thoughts about. I don't know if you saw any of the feedback.
No,
It,
I mean, mm-mm.
it sparked a lot of
I just checked the
conversation.
views. I made sure the thumbnail was on point. We was looking good in the thumbnail. And the views was high. So the thumbnail looked good. The views was high.
Mhm.
We looked good. You know what I mean? It felt good. The energy felt good. So yeah, the comments. I don't really pay attention to the comments because at the end of the day, it. I know what I'm saying is true,
Mhm.
right? And I'm very comfortable with my truth, and I'm very unapologetic in that way. So I never pay attention to like who's triggered, who's not triggered, the comments, the critics. Because if you subscribe to the comments, or you make the comments your God, or you make the comments your fucking religion, you go into that church every Sunday, you're not gonna have a successful career or a long standing business.
Mhm.
So fuck the comments. And for the women that's triggered, look, you gotta understand the the system has been designed to critique and analyze black men. Every step you go, we're under a microscope and a telescope, right? And a lot of times, our women have been shielded from that level of accountability, and there's lack of accountability with things. And a lot of times, when black women are being held accountable, there's this pushback. There's a real trigger.
Mhm.
But if you don't take accountability, you're not going to see true change. So yeah.
I can agree with that. That's true. I think like one of the things was because I did do it for clickbait purposes, but where I had cut it at when
Right.
we did speak on the domestic
Or
violence.
you edit it out. You don't say it for clickbait. You just speak. I mean, just don't. I mean, don't let people know the source. You know what I'm saying, but
Well,
we're gonna
yeah.
edit that one out. We're gonna edit that one out. You know what I'm saying, you edit that one out. You
Yeah,
know what I mean,
so
but
I did,
it was a touchy topic
it
that you
was.
decided
But
to
I
shed light on.
I did, and I felt like I'm not gonna lie, in the moment, I'll be honest with you, in the moment, I felt like he's bugging, right? Like this nigga's bugging. Clearly,
Right.
I'll be honest,
For
right?
sure.
And then when I took a second because I think I'll be honest, I think that you're right as far as taking accountability stuff. When I sat back and I rewatched it and I got like understood what you were trying to say, I think the delivery was a little harsh, and I think how it was said for me personally, it was a little harsh. But I understood what you were trying to say after, right? So,
Mhm.
um,
But again, the misunderstanding of the tonality is due to the lack of accountability and being held accountable.
I
So,
agree with that.
right? So if we don't hold ourselves accountable for the people that we allow in our lives, how can we ever have people in our lives that actually benefit our lives, right? If we don't take accountability, right?
Mhm.
And I'm not. So again, this is not an attack on black women, right? It's just a reality check. If the people that come into your life do you harm and you ignore the things that you contributed to those people coming into your life, you might bring similar people into your life into the future. It doesn't take them off the hook or say that they wasn't wrong. No, if you were a victim, you were a victim, and I take domestic violence very seriously, right?
Yeah.
If you were a victim, you were a victim. Um, However, there's a difference between being a victim and having a victim's mindset or victim's mentality. And I'm not here to sympathize with the victim or the victimizer. I'm here to say, okay, I don't want this to happen again, right? I don't want to, I never wanted to go back to prison. So I had to take accountability. Now, my mother was a shit. My mother abused me. My father abandoned me. My mother was a drug addict, right? And I openly talk about these things. My mother molested me, right? So I went through like very traumatic experiences, and those things kind of architected my life early on and led to me being in situations and scenarios that had I not had that abuse, I probably wouldn't be in those situations and scenarios. But in order for me to stop these situations and scenarios from being continuous in my life, I had to separate the expectations for accountability from my mother and then just put it on myself and say, well, okay, well, what do I control? I get that it wasn't my fault. I get that I went through this, but my my reaction is what I have to focus on. Every action has a reaction, but I control how I respond,
Yeah.
right? And I'm gonna respond differently. So that's what I was trying to get, women to understand when they're in these situations with men,
Yeah.
right? What's your reaction, or what energy are you putting out? What signs in the person's character are you ignoring? What parts, where's the commonality, right? Because a lot of times people are just mirrors of who we are. And if we haven't developed self-love, if we haven't developed a high self-esteem, that's a vibration that has a gravitational pull that can bring a man into your life that will take advantage of your lack of self-esteem. That will take advantage of, because everybody always, when the guy smacks the shit out you, he's looking to see if it's okay, right? It's a
Right.
first, it's fucked up to say, but it's real, right? If a guy's about to smack you, right? He's gonna push you, and then it's gonna be that you may not see it,
Yeah.
but it's a millisecond of him looking for acceptance. Doesn't mean you could beat the guy, right? But a woman who has that type of a high self-esteem, the second she gets attacked by the guy,
She's out of there.
she's going crazy. Not only is she out of there, she's picking up for what? You got me fucked. Oh. And then she's not in that situation. So again, I'm not saying that that woman that accepted that scenario is wrong, right? But we have to identify what's the mindset of that woman that actually accepted that, right? Like, okay, well, if she has low self-esteem, well, why does she have low self-esteem? If she loves this man that doesn't love her, well, why is she seeking for this external love before the internal love?
Right.
Right?
I can agree.
Why is there expectation of this thing, getting better? Right? What was the relationship that she had with her father and her mother? But what was the relationship that she's seen her mother in, right? What was the impact of television and media on her decision making in men? A lot of times, media, television, and TV shows sets the standards for what we feel our relationship should be like, or what we feel we should be like in a relationship, right? You see in the movies, oh, he's supposed to bring you flowers, but bring you flowers for what? Like, where
I
did that
like flowers.
No, but
Oh.
but the point I'm trying to make is bring you flowers for what? Like, where did that come from? We got to start analyzing everything that we feel as, like, the things that we view as expectations
Mm-hmm.
are conditioned into us, right?
Right.
They're conditioned into us, but a lot of times those expectations are either unsustainable, unrealistic, unfulfilling over time, right? Or just fucking delusional altogether. So we have to stop letting, like I say, we have to stop letting white people give us the standards for what we feel our relationship should be. But accountability is important. So when the woman that's being abused, she understands how to identify where the boundaries have been crossed, but she also has to understand how to set boundaries for herself. And those boundaries become a vibration, almost like an energy force field that a person gonna think twice about it. Like, there was a scene in the movie with Tina Turner when she just got fed up by Ike beating on her, and she got strong, and Ike raised her hand. She looked at him like,
Yeah.
and he just froze. It was like that. She gave him that look like, oh, this ain't the same. This ain't Adam A.
Right. Yeah.
This ain't happening no more. So how do we get our women to understand how to develop that energy? That starts with self-esteem. That starts with mantras. That starts with affirmations. That starts with self-love. That starts with self-care, right? It starts with loving yourself, right? And and loving yourself, and also loving the black man. And when you love yourself, you can always know when someone don't love themselves. So if I love me, I know you don't. If I really love me and you don't love you, then because I love me, I know that you don't love you. I'm staying the fuck away from you.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see your lack of self-love. And you're trying to project your frustration because you haven't developed the capabilities or abilities to really love yourself. So now you're projecting that lack of self-love onto me, and then it turns into abuse, verbally, physically, emotionally, sexually, or whatever.
So at what point, like, okay, so like you said, because you have self-love and you realize you can recognize when someone doesn't have that, right?
Mhm.
So you meet someone, you like her, she's attractive, right? Because we're gonna go for physical attraction at first. And you realize like her self-esteem is kind of low.
But you can't go for physical attraction.
Yeah, you
have to
can't.
go for what happens is we go for vibrational attraction first, whether we know it or not. Now, you know my mantra: how you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you. So whether we like it or not, consciously, subconsciously, we think repetitive thoughts that create vibrations. Those vibrations create gravitational pull. Things and people come into our life based upon what we're thinking. Okay, not just what we think about ourselves, but also what we're thinking. So I think the problem that when we had in part one, it was like the females that were triggered couldn't understand the accountability for creating a scenario, because they were only focused on maybe how they thought about themselves and not just what they're thinking. Because thoughts, it's not just because you could think, yo, I'm beautiful, but you could think, yeah, man, niggas ain't shit. Oh, I gotta get this money. You can have thoughts that are low vibrational that attract low vibration, or people that are on the same low frequency, and then it turns into whatever harsh situations they are. So when you first meet somebody, you should first analyze what's going on with you internally. And if what is going on with you internally is not the highest vibration, then you know the person that you meet is not on that highest vibration. And it's not wise to gamble just because physically you're attracted to this person, but internally you have attracted a person that is not the best person for you.
Fair enough. But in relationships, like over time, right? If I'm thinking a long-term relationship, things change, feelings change, people go through different things, right? So if you're in a relationship with someone and it gets to a point
Feelings, but this is why it's very important not to generalize and skip past things, right? How you think creates how you feel. So if your feelings change, well, that means your thoughts change.
yeah, but that's natural. That happens, right?
It's a choice. So at the end of the day, I'm not gonna wake up tomorrow and be a homosexual. I'm never gonna be a homosexual. I'm not gonna wake up tomorrow and smoke crack. I'm never gonna smoke crack. See? So there's something that um I have, whether it's a value system, characteristics, principles, principalities, whatever, that's gonna be the same with me until my death date, right?
Okay.
So thoughts create feelings. So if you want to have the feelings conducive to a long-term relationship over time, you have to do the self-work and develop those mental muscles in a way that you can have the same cohesive feeling throughout the duration of your relationships or your relations. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that, but
Mhm.
I'm also thinking like on a realistic standpoint. Things happen, right? There's gonna be hear me before you cut me off. There's gonna be things that happen, right? There's days where I'm super confident. I have thoughts where I'm super like I'm in a good mood. I feel good. Then there's days where I don't feel as confident,
You ever
right?
drive a car?
Do I have a car?
You ever drive a car?
Yes, I drove a car.
So busy traffic, right? What happens when you fall asleep on the car?
You're gonna crash the car.
Shit happens.
Right.
So I'm gonna make sure every time before I get behind that steering wheel, I'm not intoxicated, right? I'm not sleepy, right? I'm not hungry. I don't gotta use the bathroom. I'm gonna make sure that I am properly prepared to get to my destination from starting the car to turning the car off.
Mm-hmm.
That's your mindset. That's your relationship. That's your emotions. You have to have the maturity, the emotional maturity, the discipline to maintain, right, your thoughts, to maintain your emotions. So let me go back to my mantra. That's important. How you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you. So if I know my thoughts, create my feelings, then I have to identify, well, how do I cultivate my thoughts? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So every day, so if I told you, right? Because every time I see you, you always look nice. You always smell good when I hug you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a reason why she smells good. I believe you take showers. I'm just, safe to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you have any plans on having your breath stink?
No.
Why? Because you're going to brush your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
There's a maintenance that comes with hygiene, right? So you got physical health, but you got mental health too, right? You got mental hygiene, right? So there's a maintenance for mental hygiene. There's a maintenance for mental health. There's a maintenance for physical health. There's a maintenance for physical hygiene, right? And that maintenance for mental health and mental hygiene is repetitive thought, because how you think creates how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So when I understand how to maintain my thoughts, then now I can maintain my feelings. And when I know the feelings that I need to feel to bring the things into my life that I want into my life, I'm always going to think the thoughts to create the feelings to bring the things into my life that I want in my life. And I'm going to maintain those great things, phenomenal things that's in my life.
That makes sense. What are your thoughts on like what do you think the role of a woman in a relationship should be?
I mean, wow, that's tough, right? Because so our women have been conditioned, right? They've been conditioned to go against the leadership and authority of the black man, right? So there's a big, there's a big conditioning going on in our culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's been happening since slavery. So when the welfare system came in, they said in order for you to clothe, house, and feed your children, the black man can't be there. But when the white farmer wife looks to get subsidy from the government, they don't require the farmer, the husband, to leave the farm. They don't break up the white family. They only break up our family because it's been a conspiracy to break up black families, right? Secondly, a woman's role is wisdom and balance. The woman is here to give birth, to be the nurturer, to be the educator, right? to focus on giving birth, nutrition, and education. A woman's role is wisdom and balance. But if she doesn't understand her role because she's been conditioned not to value her true role, her true purpose, then she can't live in her purpose. And if she doesn't live in her purpose, then you get a nation destroyed. That's why I said the greatest soldier in the white man's army is the black woman. And if she's not held accountable, if she doesn't hold herself accountable for the role she plays in destroying our nation and destroying our family structure, then we're never going to have our own nation and a powerful family structure as the foundation for that nation, right? So accountability is very important. And this is not an attack on black women. Only hit dogs holler. So for the women that do get it and understand, they have to hold the other women that don't get it and don't understand accountable. Because there's a lot of good, great black women who understand their role and play their role and create a strong, powerful family dynamic, right? So
Make sure you speak in the mic.
Oh, sorry. So a woman can't raise a child alone. You need to have it's a collaborative coalition with both masculine and feminine energy, right? So black women think because they have a car, job, credit card, they own money, that they don't need a man. But finances is only one provision that is an ingredient for a powerful family structure, right? So these are the provisions, because a man's role is to give direction, guidance, gratification, fulfillment, and discipline for the children. Also providing financially. So it's provisions, but there's different provisions. And the white man has conditioned our women to highlight one provision and disregard the other provisions. Part of a man's role is to be a provider, but also to give direction, right? Also to give guidance, also to give gratification, also to give fulfillment. These are provisions. Also to give the discipline for the children, right? That's a provision. Discipline is a provision. So the woman has to understand the diversification of provision and start to value the different areas of provision. Because if this black man lacks in the financial provision, but he exceeds in a guidance provision or fulfillment provision, then that's a good man. And our women have to identify and understand the different types of provision. So now her value for that man can increase. She's not only just focusing on the financial provision, and how the black man gets the financial provision is he has to improve his relationship with God and go to God for the financial provision. This is why the white man gave the black woman the financial provision and highlighted that as the most important thing, when in all actuality, it's not the most important thing, and it's not the only thing, right? So the woman's role is wisdom and balance. You know, she's supposed to be the nurturer. She's supposed to create the nutrition. She's supposed to be the educator. Our children shouldn't be going to the board of education. They should be going to the board of black women, right? And this is how you build a nation. This is why 90%. So when you think of the prison population, right? All the brothers that's in prison, 98% of them come from single parent homes raised by their mother, right? When you think of like nutrition and diet, right? Food is so important. What we eat affects everything, right? And the black woman's role in our nutrition is the key to building a nation. So you mean to tell me you don't think being in charge of the food, being in charge of we get it. We know what time it is.
Oh, thank you.
You don't think being in charge of the food, you don't think being in charge of the education. In order for a nation to survive, you need education and nutrition. It's one of the most important. Black woman plays one of the most important roles in building a nation and a family structure. But the reason why we don't have a nation and a family structure is because she's not properly playing her role of being the educator, the wisdom, the balance, and the nutritionist. Yeah.
So, I mean, I know you spoke about the role of a man. Well, we have 10 minutes, so I'm trying to think what should we
Yeah,
have.
don't worry. This is just a little chop up, little swag. We got part 2 coming. This is because you know,
Please.
I gotta take accountability. You know what I'm saying? We got.
Glad
part 2
you said
coming.
that.
We got part 2 coming, and we're gonna go. Listen, this is just so what you do is you chop this up, right? You make the parts of this that's gonna trigger people, and that becomes the promo, which is the setup for the 2-hour session.
Okay. Well, what do you? Oh, let's skip
okay.
that. I don't know if we should get into the I was gonna swing into interracial dating.
Interracial dating. Listen, we don't have the luxury of dating outside our race because the purpose of a relationship is to build a nation, to build our community, right? So every time you see a rich white woman, she doesn't take on a poor black man. When you look at the richest white people in the world, white women, they not marrying no fucking black men. They don't want them, right? So there's a financial responsibility that comes in a relationship, and we don't have the power positions that give the luxury of dating outside the race. We have to focus on, we need our women with our men, and we need our men with our women. Yeah, I don't want no milk in my coffee. Yeah. Let's keep it black.
I hear that. So when you see an interracial couple, what do you think? What are your thoughts on it?
Again, I'm gonna always go the extreme route and say, "Hey, man, you fucking traitor! You're a traitor! You're a traitor!" And look at the woman like she bugging. How you like? Let's be for real. Like, how could you love? Listen, and I'm gonna go into depth in that when we do the full version. But I just look at it like those people are asleep because you loving someone or trying to love someone who will never love you. And there's a higher divorce rate for interracial marriages than same race marriages in our culture.
Yeah, but some people, what do you think about when a Hispanic,
they black?
That's how I feel. Different. I agree with you, but other people will argue that.
No, it's different. They black.
I'm
not talking about that. We talking about Irish.
And
I agree with you. You know what you're talking about.
I know, honky. But some people
talking about Becky we talking about Becky.
Listen to me.
Hold on. We talking about Becky with the genetically inferior hair.
Listen,
that ain't good hair.
I agree with you because I did another episode on that because I've experienced that, right? I'm Hispanic and black.
Oh, you put milk in your coffee?
No, I never dated a white guy.
You fuck with the pink meat.
I don't like.
You fuck with that pink meat?
You
fuck with that pink toe?
Yeah, I've actually never dated. I've never dated white, but people I've gotten criticized because people think if I'm dating a African American shaped black, right? They're like, oh, because I'm half Hispanic. They'll look at it like an interracial.
Half Hispanic, you gotta understand.
So I feel like it's all.
That's why. Okay, well, we got. Well, let's go to the next topic. You know what I mean? We got a speed convo. This.
I don't know what you want to wrap it up with.
What else you want to? What else we missed?
You want to wrap it up with the views on social media affecting relationships? We kind of did that. You did that.
Yeah, it's too much. So social media again is too much. You can't have a healthy relationship and be on social media because it's too much engaging in the law of vibration, right? It's too much temptation, right? It's too much. Every time you scroll, it's some type of a big booty, juicy
That's true.
titties.
No,
you know what I mean? It's
there's
too much
access to too much going on.
Right. So
you feel like in a relationship, if we're gonna be in a relationship, we shouldn't have social media?
No, we have to insulate ourselves from things that activate low vibrational energy, right? And we have to understand this is why China doesn't have certain social media platforms because they know the effects, right? When we study psychology, when we study sociology, right? When we study mirror, they call it
mirror exercise.
No, echo mirroring, echo mirroring, right? When we talk about societal acceptance, when we talk about classical operant conditioning, this fucking phone is like a mind control device.
That's true, yeah.
So if I have to focus on who I'm trying to build with, who I'm trying to be in love with, I have to focus on that. I don't need to go on my phone, go on Instagram and see 3,000 different women all looking perfect.
It's true.
It's not reality, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but let's be realistic, smart, right?
You keep saying realistic.
Because you spoke a good one, bro. But it's if
I talk a good one. No.
No, I believe you. Listen, let me.
I walk a great one. I walk a great one.
All right, so you smart. You're about to get in a relationship. You're not deleting your social media. Let's be honest.
What do you mean?
So, are you? No, you're not.
You asking a question? Of course, why wouldn't I? I'm not, at the end of the day, I'm not a slave of social media. And this is one of the things I talk about.
But you run your business on
Everything,
there.
no, I run my business. First of all, I'm not a slave to nothing.
I believe that.
Start there. I don't smoke, I don't drink.
Mhm.
I have discipline. My discipline is like different. I'm an extremist. I don't give a fuck about no Instagram.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think people get that about me, right? I spoke about the LGBTQ, spoke against it. I don't fuck with none of that. I don't fuck with the so-called Jews. I don't give a fuck about social
You
media.
stand on what you say.
Social media didn't make me. God made me,
Amen.
right? So I'm not into something that's gonna pull me to hell. I'm not into something I don't give a fuck about Instagram. I understand the benefits, but I also understand the liabilities. I understand the asset of it. I understand the liability of it. And I'm not a slave to the asset of it, because the liability, in terms of the effect it can have on my conditioning,
Mhm.
is not greater. It's like the benefit is not greater than the poison.
Mm.
The gift is not greater than the curse in terms of social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you talking about being in a relationship and being in love, not this fuck party fest y'all motherfuckers be going on. I'm talking about being in love and like really being in love. I'm just saying, I'm keeping it real.
No, I
In terms of
you
like really, really being in love, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. That's more important to me. We talk about family, we talk about values, we
Mhm.
talk about certain things. That's more important to me than social media and looking at some bitch shake her ass that is not gonna be loyal to me. Like, I don't understand, like, what's the lack of the give up? Like, what am I giving up?
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a fuck about that. It's not real. I'm in the real world. I'm not in the matrix. I'm unplugged. So I'm not, how I'm gonna be enticed by this woman that got a filter, a fake ass, 5 pounds of makeup, no loyalty to me, 200 million other men trying to fuck her. What's appealing about that? I'm good looking. I've been good looking for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And the reality is when you look good,
You're attracted, right?
I'm not pressed. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, you have to
my
get it.
standards and what I value, I'm getting into more of understanding the role of a woman. Has nothing to do with physicality. It's the internal beauty that supersedes the external beauty. And the things that a woman has in terms of her role has nothing to do with how she looks. Just told you. Nutrition, right? Empathy, wisdom, balance, educator.
In part
These
2,
chicks want to twerk. They can't read.
in part 2, we're gonna get into how do I attain that? If I'm a girl that I'm twerking, I'm on the gram, how can I get to where I don't, like I want
How
to
could you attract
how
the
can I
man you
attract
want?
the man that I deserve, the
Right.
man that I want? You
Right.
gonna tell us, right?
Absolutely. That's great. See that? Bang. See that? Hey, I'm qualified. You got to go listen. The best,
You need to sell cars.
the best,
You make
the
rap.
best person, the best woman. If a man is trying to figure out how to know, a hoe is the best person to go to. If a man's trying to figure out like women and shit like that, right? Like what, you go to a hoe. If a girl's trying to figure out, men and how to, go to a man that dealt with women. He's knowledgeable. He has experiences. Go to a man that's good looking. You ain't gonna go to the motherfucker that's fat, can't see his dick when he pee. Know what I'm saying? Ain't got no swag, he got no experience. So how the fuck you going to him? He don't know what he doing. You go to me, you're gonna get the answer. In part 2.
Yeah, we're gonna figure out for
Yeah,
the men
shit.
too. How they
Women
gonna
love me, man.
attract a good woman.
Women love smart. God damn it.
Oh, please.
That's a fact. I'm saying. They say I don't look good. Lies. A pig, pussy, pork.
Please.
You know I look good back to your engineer. Gotta act like. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
Shit.
It's not always about how you look. It's about
I'm
the
a total-
internal.
Oh, right then. See, I'm
Okay?
a total package. I'm dangerous.
Oh,
I'm
please.
intelligent. I look good. I dress nice. I got a nice car downstairs. I smell
But
good.
that stuff
I'm over
doesn't matter.
6
That's external stuff. Isn't that what you said?
Those matter though.
I hope you're still catching this, engineer.
No. There's no. See,
Is she catching this on
but
camera?
the reality, catch it on camera.
Catch it
The
on camera.
reality is the fact that I am intelligent.
Nobody said you're not.
The fact
Yeah.
that my internal self is just as good as my external self. Oh yeah, it's a bonus.
Yeah, we here,
It's a
and
bonus.
I'm here.
It's like the
for it.
Reese's with the pieces.
Oh, please.
It's like the chalk with the lid. You can't have the lick without the stick.
Okay, but just like you said,
Yeah.
there's 1,000 attractive looking men out here, and in the inside and the outside.
Yeah, no, it's not 1,000 men like me. It's just the truth, man.
Okay.
It's the truth. I mean, we're gonna. I mean, hey, you could be delusional if you want. I mean, I'm just going by what people tell me. Like, damn, you're just different. I am, but hey, you know, it's a big talk.
And until part 2.
That's right.
That's right.
Part
'cause
two.
You
Before you lick, you gotta
stressed me
stick.
out.
And if you can
But
lick it,
you're not gonna bully me on my platform either.
Right.
Okay?
Now you're trying to, but listen.
Because you bullied me on my last one, and I let you rock.
First of
But
all, you let me rock, and what happened?
what do you mean?
Listen, I just told you. You one of the provisions. You
But I don't care about social media
let me
views.
guide.
I don't
Let me
care.
guide.
What?
That was it. You let me guide.
Okay.
I gave you a little direction on it, and through that direction, you got fulfillment and gratification. Okay? This is what happened. You just said it. I started off. I got the most views. You did. It's like, damn.
I let you
I put
guide.
small talk on the map. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I appreciate you.
Hey, I appreciate you.
I do.
Always. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. And again, we're gonna this. Oh man, this one gonna go.
It's gonna go crazy to the moon.
No, I'm telling. Listen.
To the moon.
Hey, no, listen. That's why, especially if you do like this. This is like the little commercial for it. You take little clips from this.
Clip.
Boom, boom. Post on Instagram. Boom. The shit I'm gonna say on this one.
I'm gonna put it on the map.
Yeah. Go subscribe. Okay. Take your nutty professor fingered ass having and click the button, man. Okay. Click the button and subscribe. Watch the channel, man. Watch the channel, man. We know you ain't got no. We know you got a crate for refrigerator with ice in it. But we ain't gonna judge you. We ain't gonna judge you. We know you're gonna upgrade one day. Get yourself a fucking refrigerator and put the sticker on the refrigerator, man. We know you motherfuckers can't afford coffee.
All right, use it.
We know you ain't gonna afford coffee.
I want to just take a picture.
But I want you to get. If we rolling, we still rolling. We still rolling, boss lady.
Okay. We off a few more minutes.
Okay.
I gotta reset. Yeah.
Drink your motherfucking coffee to this. When you wake up in the morning. Tiny, come in the joint. They know you're here. When you wake up in the morning
Pray for me.
and you wanna you wanna have coffee, you don't have no coffee because you can't afford it. I want you to hold your phone, pull up a picture of this hot little chocolate Power Ranger, and hold your phone over the coffee cup and let the energy juice and drip into your cup, and you'll have tiny coffee in the morning. Subscribe now or die.